tough game. Give Tampa credit. They did everything better than we did today.
How do you explain that performance from your team?
Yeah, it wasn't good, Dan. It wasn't good. For a variety of, missed tackles, converting in the red zone, turning the ball back over in the red zone. Had a good week of practice. Did a lot of work, and obviously it didn't show. So, no excuses.
You said you were hoping that Tommy would provide a spark for the offense. Why do you think that didn't happen?
Well, they played well, and we didn't play well. So, get down 23-0, changes the complexion of the game some. Had a good drive coming out of half, turned the football over. So just not good enough, and that all starts with me.
How much do you feel, if at all, everything that happened this week with Daniel and the whole situation had any effect on the team?
No excuse on that. Just didn't do a good enough job.
Do you regret benching Daniel?
One more time?
Do you regret benching Daniel?
Yeah, no, we're moved on here. We didn't do a good enough job today all the way around. That starts with me.
I mean, in the context of doing it to spark the offense and improve the way the offense looked.
Yeah, no, we weren't good, Pat. So no excuses. Wasn't a good day.
What do you tell the team after a performance like that?
Yeah, just that. I think there's a lot of prideful people, but what we put out there wasn't good enough. Can't make excuses. We got a short turnaround, but didn't do a good enough job. And again, had a good week. And we started out slow. We got down 23-0. Things compounded and battled there in the second half, but ultimately not good enough.
Brian, what's a good week to beat? What makes you feel like a week?
Yeah, no, good energy at practice, good detail. Bouncing around. Again, it's no excuses. It wasn't good, and that's my responsibility.
Brian, you guys are averaging this season 14.8 points per game, which I think is the lowest in over 25 years for this team. Why has it been a week-over-week issue with the offense?
Yeah, just we're not doing a good enough job.
What did you think of Baker taunting the fans with DeVito's symbol?
One more time?
What did you think of Baker Mayfield taunting the fans in the stadium with DeVito?
Yeah, I think they played well, and he played a good game. So give those guys credit.
Brian, when you talk about having a good week of practice, I'm sure you sensed the team was healthy, that you sensed you were going to come out here and play a good game. When it doesn't happen, you kind of question, am I getting through to these guys or am I not reading them right? Because the performance does not match anything that you thought of before the game.
Yeah, look, Paul, I understand the question. We didn't do a good enough job, and we got to be better.
What are some of the issues you're seeing with the defense?
Yeah, we got to do a better job of tackling. Third down conversions.
Are you happy with the pursuit of everybody, gang tackling to the ball?
Yeah, we're just missing them. We missed a bunch today. It's something that we focused on. Obviously, not good enough, and at the end of the day, that's my responsibility.
Your decision 4th and 1 early in the game.
Yeah. I had 2 plays there. Thought we had an opportunity to get a first down and keep the drive going, try to build some momentum, and didn't get it.
Neighbors was the target in the first half. Why was he not involved?
We didn't have very many plays. Certainly had some there dialed up, and they had, whether it's a coverage designed to, I'm not saying double them or anything like that, just a better coverage for the play in and of itself. But didn't have very many plays, Dan. Try to mix in the run. That's started out the game with a good run, and not much after that. The game got away from us and turned into a pass-a-thon, which is not what we want to do.
How do you convince the team that the big move you made this week is in the right interest of the team when you had this performance?
Yeah, I think we moved on here, Pat, with it. Again, we just got to get ready to go here for this week.
I know you moved on, Brian, but there were a number of players who stressed and said that they believed Daniel was this team's best quarterback, namely Dexter, and then to have this performance, is there a concern? Are you worried?
Yeah, no, again, we're moved on from it. We've talked about the Daniel situation. We just got to do a better job, play better all the way around.
How much did you think this was a positive? Like, when you're weighing the pros and cons of making that kind of decision, that this is a possibility that you might not get your intended result, which was, like you said, to create a spark? Yeah,
again, Jordan, I just say look, Daniel's on. He's not on the team anymore. We've talked about that. We got to do a better job all the way around.
Will Tommy be your starter next week?
Yeah, we'll see if he's healthy and ready to go. He will be.
How do you think he did? How do you think he played today?
Go back and look at Paul. Look, nobody did a good enough job. Start with myself. He just got dinged up a little bit. I think he had there and again took a couple shots there. So hopefully he'll be okay.
Brian, that's 6 straight losses. Any concern that this could snowball?
Just trying to get a win. Again, do everything we can do each week. Certainly not, the performance that we set out to have. No question about that. Got to do a better job.
Dave, you've talked about execution all along. Are you concerned with the fight in this team right now? I know what you're seeing during the week, but
yeah, no. We got to do things better. But no, I don't question our guys.
You mentioned missed tackles though a bunch of times. The natural inclination is to say, well, missed tackles is an effort thing. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I'd say we missed some tackles. I think guys were giving good effort, and we missed some tackles. They made us miss. Had some
missing so many tackles if you don't think it's effort. Like what's the other explanation?
Yeah, technique. Give credit to the other guys making us miss, but certainly not good enough.
What's the thinking with calling timeouts on that last drive?
Just try to finish the game. Give Tommy an opportunity to finish the game and keep competing.
Tommy did take quite a few big hits, as you mentioned. How do you address that in improving pass protection?
Yeah, well, we'll see why there were, the hits were the hits. We'll take a look at that and, try to correct what we can.
I know Tracy came back into the game. Yeah. Was he out for a punitive situation with the?
Yeah, he turned the ball over, gave Motor some burn and Gray, and then put Tracy back in too.
How big a concern is that with him moving forward? And this is now, he has a bunch of fumbles.
Yeah, something we gotta continue to stress and work on. But I have a lot of confidence in Tracy, but we can't turn the ball over to the other team.
Do you have concern about your job security after a game like this, or do you feel like you're safe and can coach out this season no matter the results?
Yeah, I just I feel for the guys that go out there and play, and the result that we had today, and focus on getting better for the next week.
How much do you even consider that? How much does that even go through your head when you have performances like this?
Yeah, the only thing that goes is how we're going to make it better, and that's what we'll try to do.
First off, Tommy, how you feeling? I know you took some shots at the end of that game. You came out of play. How you doing health-wise?
Good. A little dinged up, first time being out there in a while. Playing, real football again since preseason, so body's got to get adjusted a little bit to getting hit again, but I'll be okay.
Why was it so hard for you guys to get anything going today consistently?
Yeah, it was tough in the first half. Just figuring out what they were doing. Just, I know it sounds cliche, but just coming down to execution. Started to go a little bit faster in the third quarter, and we finally got things clicking in the run and pass game. The run game got going, passes opened up, vice versa. Kind of slowed them down a little bit on defensively because they were bringing a lot of pressure early on. So as we started to figure that out and just let everybody just play, we started to get going, but just too late.
Why was it, Neighbors had no targets in the first half. Was there anything specific they were doing with him?
No, not necessarily. It's kind of just going through my reads, kind of just how it played out.
How frustrating was it to every time it did seem like you guys were getting something going, something happens that stalls the drive?
I mean, that's just adversity, right? You never know when it's going to happen. In the first half of the game, it happened, early on the drives, weren't able to convert. And then obviously just being able to go down the field and then, something like that happened, just stay tight as a group. And that's just, again, just attention and detail. The small things, staying on a block this much further, me carrying out a fake that can pull a guy apart to help keep someone away from the ball, and then ultimately everybody just plays a part in that in the ball security aspect, but just have to finish. I mean, I know it's a thing that's been going on for a while, but it's definitely something that is being hammered in the meetings, in the film, on the practice field. It has to click. That's it.
What do you think the key is to getting it to click?
Just finishing details, yeah.
Tommy, with all the emotions of the week, you get out there, and for them to jump out the way they did against you guys, I mean, you come in at halftime, what's the mood? I mean, how do you get a read for this team and where you guys are at right now? Yeah,
at that point it was, as we treated it as a 0-0 ball game. You don't have to try to get it all back at once. You can't get it all back at once, not in one drive, but to go down and put together a drive and to go down the field and give the offense back our confidence. And I think that, obviously we did a good job going down the field. We just have to finish it to really solidify that and put us back in the game. But at halftime, everybody was up. motivated, ready to go. That's never a question. There's no hanging heads. Nobody allows that to happen, and nobody does that. So we just got to keep that going, but ultimately we got to come out faster in the first half.
Tommy, do you sense a lack of confidence in this?
Well,
do you sense a lack of confidence at all in this offense?
No. I think it starts with the leader. I think it starts with Daboll. He's a very confident guy, and then obviously it trickles down. And I think as a quarterback group, the receivers are confident. I think everybody's confident. I think just when it comes together, you just breathe into each other. Just when things do go wrong or something does go wrong, so there was a missed block or balls on the ground, it's just bringing that whole group together to that one guy to just bring that confidence back into him, knowing he's going to be good for the next play and we got his back.
Tommy, what was your reaction to Baker Mayfield doing your touchdown celebration?
Honestly, I really didn't know until someone just mentioned the locker room. I mean, they were having a good game. They celebrated. It is what it is. Kind of happened last year. I mean, it's going to happen, I guess.
Tommy, most of the quarterbacks get most of the blame and too much of the credit, too much of the blame. Do you kind of sit there and say they wanted me to give him a spark, but it was kind of hard today to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I pride myself on that. I mean, you always want to be that spark. The quarterback is the spark in any offense, not just right now what it is, obviously with the way things have been going, but across the NFL, everything flows through the quarterback. So yeah, I do. I take that, heavy, being able to get more points going and get things going in the first half. I take that hardly. I'm going to go, obviously, watch the film, see what I could have done better on my part, whether that's on the field, whether it's off, energizing the guys, keeping the guys going, anything in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to analyze, obviously, but like you said, quarterback's good. When it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's bad. So being able to just stay even keel through it all and understand what my job is and make it better for next week.
I think you've said in the past that maybe the number one quality you have is confidence, that whenever you step out there. Did you see something like this kind of transpiring overall as the team today? Or it just seemed that things never got going until the game was really out of reach on the scoreboard?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, but that's just a testament to the guys, especially the guys up front, everybody around us. At certain points, scoreboard, it was 0-0. We're just going out and playing and trying to put our best football forward. Obviously, like I said before, we got going way too late, but it's there. It's there. We're able to go up and down the field. It's just those little things that that bite you and just kill a drive and just don't allow you just to go down there and especially put points up on the board. It just needs to get nipped in the butt, and it will. It will. I know it's been a while, but it'll happen.
You've played a lot of football in your lifetime. I mean, you've been on teams, I'm sure, that see it, think it's going to come, doesn't come. Why are you confident that at 2-9 for this team that it could still come?
Because I see the way we practice. I mean, a lot of the older guys talk about it. Dex talks about it all the time. Burns talks about it all the time. We're the hardest practicing team that they've seen. They've been around. Me personally, I think that as well. The way we practice, if you go out and watch us, we do not practice like we're 2-9 or whatever our record is. We're going out there we are undefeated, and every day is like a game. It just has to translate from practice to the field. That's the biggest thing. It just needs to happen. But no, confidence is not an issue on the offense, defense, or special teams side of the ball. I think that the locker room is tight-knit. I think that everybody has a lot of juice going into the week, especially with how things have been going on the field. There's no fingers being pointed. Everyone's kind of honing in on it, but maybe we just need to hone in a little harder. So we've got to figure it out for this week.
Take two more. Did you get the wind knocked out of you on that?
Yeah. Just the wind knocked out of me.
Last one.
Does it help at all that it's a short week, not much time to think about this one when you have Dallas coming up, or do you almost wish you had more time to kind of figure out the little details that you talked about?
Right, there's good and bad to it. I mean, you're going to flush it. Obviously, you have to go on to next week, but you still have to be able to go back and watch it and see what went right and what went wrong and why. But that needs to be a quick fix, nip in the butt, and then we're on to Dallas right now. So I think there's a 50-50 with it.
Man, I try to just keep my emotions real poised and just copacetic. Obviously, all you can do is your job in this point, and just trying to continue to focus on what us as an outside linebacker group and what as a defense, we can get better at to contribute to the team.
Defensively as a group, do you just need to do a better job tackling?
Yeah, and that just starts with the individual. I think, we got to get back to the simple things. Football is about making tackles and getting the offense guy on the ground, so we got to do a lot better at that.
Kayvon, after being out for about a month or so with the wrist, how do you feel physically you were able to do what you wanted to do?
Definitely was gassed, but, you got to keep playing. Z's went down early, so I had to, do more than we expected, but that's the nature of the beast, so just me trying to continue to get back in, shape.
Were they just really good today, or did you guys struggle in areas?
A little bit of both, man. I think you can't take any team for granted. Every team is good in the NFL. I just think, you got to make the plays when they come to you.
Dave said just not good enough today as a ball club. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, we had opportunities. We didn't take advantage of them, and, we didn't make a way for ourselves. So, yeah.
Tips. What are some of the main issues you see in stopping the run?
I think just fundamentals. We got to tackle. We got to rally. When we do get there, it looks great. When we don't, it looks, horrendous. So just being sharper. I think we just got to continue, getting better at our individual fundamentals.
How deceptively slippery is Baker Mayfield in the pocket?
Smart quarterback, very elusive, a very heads-up guy, good at finding, his dump-down receiver target. So, they got the best of us.
I've seen some coaches, when a young player has a turnover like that, they abandon him for a little while. Brian Daboll doesn't do that to you. He gives you the ball back again. In fact, I even saw him talk to you on the sidelines. How much does that mean to you?
It means a lot. Me and Dave, we have a good relationship. He knows I play hard. He knows, I do things the right way to the best of my ability. And, that fumble really doesn't define me. And, he has trust in me, and I trust myself as well. So when I go out there on the football field, I do my best to put the team in a good position.
Tyrone, Brian Daboll said you guys had a really good week of practice on tempo, execution-wise. Why is that not translating over to Sunday afternoons, or in this case, this Sunday?
Yeah, I feel like we have to execute better. That's really all it is. We have to execute better. And during the week, it's kind of a controlled environment. Out here on Sundays, it's not controlled. So, we have to, kind of flow with the punches. But at the end of the day, we have to do our job. Each and every person on the football field. Dave's can only call the plays. So we have to go out there and execute everything he calls.
When you look at what happened, do you think it was more mental, physical, or what do you think happened?
We just got to do our jobs. Can't turn the ball over. Got to score in the red zone. Got to convert on third down. Simple as that.
Wan'Dale, what did you think of him? I apologize if you asked this as well. What did you think of Tommy today?
I thought he was a big fighter back there. Obviously, he took some shots and still just getting up each and every play. And I think you saw in the second half just him battling and doing everything that he could.
Wan'Dale, from your perspective, this was a very emotional week for everybody in this locker room. Do you think that maybe seeped in a little bit into the energy level, or do you feel the energy level was acceptable?
I thought the energy level of practice was just fine. We probably felt like it was one of our better weeks of practice, just with the energy level and things like that. But obviously, you got to translate that to Sunday. And what you do in the week, it matters, but what really matters is Sunday.
So you have Sterling's jersey there. What did it mean to you to reconnect with him today?
It meant a lot. That was a guy that once I came in as a rookie, he took me in under his wing, and it was like a big brother to me. And then going through the rehab process just with him, he just taught me so much.
You give him yours?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.